شهر الطاعة والإيمان شهر الرحمة والغفران شهر الطاعة والإيمان شهر الرحمة والغفران
أيامك خير الأيام
يا رمضان
يا شهر صيام وقيام
يا رمضان
أيامك خير الأيام
يا رمضان
يا شهر صيام وقيام
يا رمضان.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. Salamun alaykum wa rahmatullah. We were discussing the different realms of existence, and you can look at pure existence in different ways, and depending on the way you look at pure existence, the realm would differ on a par with the lens through which you look at pure existence in and of itself, through oneness, through attributes, or through different manifestations of creation. Now, we want to dissect what the reality of Laylatul Qadr is, and it takes a number of sessions, and I'll do my best to speak as simply as possible, but it's important. There's something that we're missing in Laylatul Qadr. There's something that we have to acknowledge in Laylatul Qadr. And all these are just preliminary points before we get to the main point, inshallah. Although one can directly go to the main point, but it may not become digested. That's why I felt it was necessary to go through the different preliminary introductory principles. Imam Khomeini, rahmatullah alayh, in his Adab Salat, he writes that the truth of the Quran is distortion-less. It has no distortion, it's not distorted. And it means there's no tahrif. Distortion in Arabic is tahrif. There's no tahrif in the truth, the inner reality of the Holy Quran. Now here, when we speak of tahrif or distortion, we're discussing it in irfani terms, in mystical terms. The reason I say that is because in jurisprudence also, or in theology, there is talk of the Quran, the physical Quran, the Arabic Quran being distortionless. But what that means is that the Quran has been, some have claimed that the Quran has been distorted, where a number of letters or words have been added or taken away from the original Quran. But all denominations of Islam, Shia or Sunni, the overwhelming majority of all the scholars have said, and they believe wholeheartedly, that from a theological point of view, in relation to the external distortion of the Quran, it does not exist. There's no tahrif in this superficial sense, in this theological sense. There is no tahrif. But that's to do with the zahiri, external angle. What we're discussing here is distortion from another angle, totally different. So don't confuse the two. Here we're talking about the reality, the truth of the Quran. We say there's no distortion, there's no tahrif. However, what about the Quran in the physical sense, in the created sense? Is there spiritual distortion there? Is there spiritual tahrif there? Here the answer is different. Here there is tahrif. So bear with me to see how Imam Khomeini is now wording this. The truth of the Quran is distortionless and unchangeable, because the truth of the Quran is in Allah's knowledge. That was in the divine courtyard. In the divine courtyard, the realities existed since pre-eternity to post-eternity. So the reality of the Quran within the divine courtyard is unchangeable, and distortion in the irfani sense has no meaning whatsoever. But we have yet to understand what is this distortion in the irfani sense. From this divine book of revelation, i.e. the Quran in the divine courtyard, no one can bear save for the likes of the absolute wali Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam. So to bear, to tolerate, to gain access to the Quran of the divine courtyard in the essence of lordship, in the realm of attributes or even beyond, to gain access to Allah's knowledge, that hardly anyone can bear except the infallibles. And even amongst the infallibles, there are different degrees. Others, like me and you, cannot grasp this ultimate truth, save were it to manifest from the unseen realm of existence to the apparent physical realm. So, for example, from the divine courtyard, the attributes of Allah, it would have to manifest to the immaterial realm, would then manifest, come down, be sent down to the semi-immaterial realm, and then ultimately to the physical realm. There's a chain of events, but it's all a chain of manifestation. So this physical Quran is in unity with the semi-immaterial Quran, which is in unity with the immaterial Quran, which is in unity with Allah's attribute of knowledge. So others cannot grasp this ultimate truth, save were it to manifest from the unseen realm of existence to the apparent visible realm, evolving down to the physical realm, clothed with the attire of words and worldly letters. When it comes to the physical level, then we have pages, we have words, we have chapters, verses. These are all, divisible realities pertaining to the physical realm. This is one of the meanings of tahrif from the spiritual angle. This is one of the meanings of distortion, which occurs with respect to all the Quran. So whenever the Quran, from whatever realm, be it in the divine courtyard or outside the divine courtyard, in the realms of creation, when the reality of the Quran descends, or let's say manifests for reasons which will become apparent, because the Quran in the divine courtyard, that won't qualify as being sent down, because that wasn't a realm of creation in the divine courtyard. Attributes of Allah aren't sent down, they're manifesting. But the immaterial Quran, also called Kitabul Mubin, the clear book, that manifests, that is sent down to the semi-immaterial realm, which is sent down to the physical realm. Now here, whenever it's sent down from one realm to another, since you lose a degree of immateriality, since you lose a degree of the inner reality of the Quran with every dissension of the Holy Quran, because of that loss, we call it in irfani terms, the book has been distorted. Don't forget, not distortion in the theological sense. No one accepts that. But in the irfani sense. But why? Because that inner reality of the book, when it keeps on becoming sent down, and now you have physical words, its spirit is lost. You now have to ascend again to get to the spirit of the Quran. All you have are a number of physical words. Don't get me wrong, these physical words of the Quran are in unity or manifestations of Allah's knowledge, but the reality of the Quran has descended layer after layer, and therefore we call this distortion, because a lot of the spirit of the meaning of the Quran, the spirit of the Quran, the degree of that immaterial truths of the Quran, it's become lost now. We have a physical Quran before us. So with every dissension, we call that distortion. Remember the analogy? The book I'm authoring, is there no difference between the actual physical book and this reality of the book, which was in my mind and in my mental, the concepts which I had? Aren't they different to this physical book? You would say yes, because when the reader reads the book, they don't have access to my mental pictures or my abstract mind, what I was intending, exactly to the dot, the spirit of the book. So with every dissension, we call that distortion. The spirit has become distorted. It's become more physical. It's become less immaterial. And this applies with respect to all the Quran. So Imam continues, all noble verses have undergone such a distortion or numerous distortions before being accessible to the masses in the shape of a physical Arabic Quran, which out of Allah's compassion, it's readily accessible to all. The number of levels of distortion is on a par to the dot with the number of esoteric levels of the Quran. So remember the different levels, the metaphysical levels we went through, and even in our analogy, on a par with the number of those levels, there are a number of distortions. In short, tahrif, distortion, is tantamount to dissension from the absolutely unseen to the absolutely apparent, in proportion to the levels of the realms of existence. And so that's going down. The butun, the inner layers, the esoteric layers of the Quran, is the return. Look, now you're going up now. Is the return from the absolutely apparent, the physical Quran. From here, you're going metaphysically transcending to the metaphysical layers of the Holy Quran. The butun, the esoteric layers, is the return from the absolutely apparent, the physical Quran, to the absolutely unseen. For example, the metaphysical Quran in the semi-immaterial realm, the Kitabul Mubin in the immaterial realm. The more the traveler ascends to those metaphysical layers, the more one is freed from distortion. So if you gain access to the metaphysical layers of the Quran through this physical Arabic Quran, with every layer you ascend, you become freed from the shackles of distortion in proportion to the amount of levels you've ascended. Okay, that should be straightforward, inshallah. Now, then, and we have verses to show this. For example, in chapter 2, verse 18, Summun bukmun umyun fahum la yarji'un. So, deaf, dumb and blind, hence they are not returning. This deaf, dumb and blind means spiritually deaf, dumb and blind. When you're spiritually deaf, dumb and blind, it means you're not ascending to the metaphysical realms of existences. You have the physical Quran before you, but you're still spiritually deaf, dumb and blind. You're not getting to the inner layers. But the Quran says deaf, dumb and blind. Hence, as a result of being deaf, dumb and blind, la yarji'un, they're not returning. Remember the definition of butun, the esoteric layers of the Quran? It's the return from the absolutely apparent, the physical Quran, to the absolutely unseen, the semi-immaterial Quran, the immaterial Quran. And some people can ascend even to the divine courtyard. So, deaf, dumb and blind, they're not returning. They're stuck on the apparent level, the physical realm. In another verse, in chapter 2 also, it says, Summun bukmun umyun, but there it says, Fahum la ya'qilun. They don't exercise the intellect. They're spiritually deaf, dumb and blind. The result is, hence, they don't exercise the intellect. The intellect here isn't rationality, 2 2s or 4. The intellect here is referring to the immaterial realm of creation. The immaterial realm. And if you don't transcend to the immaterial realm and exercise the intellect, you are spiritually deaf, dumb and blind. You've sufficed with the physical realm. Okay. Then Imam continues. Those in proximity with Allah, here proximity means now they've transcended, they've even entered the divine courtyard. They're in proximity with Allah. These people, they cannot explain their unveilings, their visions to the masses. Like with the Quran, which has descended so much, level after level, to the extent that it addresses people who are imprisoned by the shackles of darkness. The Quran, the inner reality of it, people don't understand it because they're imprisoned and captivated by the worldly life. You would have to descend that inner reality so much that it becomes manifested into physical words. The visions of the prophets, what they unveiled from Allah's attributes was so deep, so transcendental, that they couldn't even use their tongue to explain what they are experiencing. The hands and tongue of the Holy Messenger, Imam writes, was tied behind his back. As a result of this, Allah has introduced Himself in the Quran with the camel. أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ, chapter 88, verse 17. Will they not observe the camel, how it was created? Imam Khomeini is saying, look, Allah, because people are so intoxicated in the worldly life, Allah can't introduce Himself in His inner reality or in higher truths, metaphysical truths of Allah. He has to come down and acquaint Himself to the people, with such lowly, destitute people, through the camel. That they get to know Allah through His physical creation. And this is remarkably regretful, Imam writes, for us, i.e., to attain to Allah's gnosis, ma'rifah, through these lowly existent entities, like a camel, for example, or via the skies, earth, humans. It's very regrettable, Imam says, but it comes back to our very limited nature and how we're drowned in the worldly life, how we suffice with the physical realm of existence. Then Imam continues, the tongue of the prophets had knots with a K. The tongue of the prophets had knots. This is in relation to chapter 20, verses 25 to 28. Qala, in relation to Nabi Musa, but it holds with all prophets. The tongue had knots. The tongue meaning couldn't explain the very high realities that their hearts are witnessing and unveiling. The tongue couldn't explain that in physical words. Qala Rabbi shrah li sadri, that my Lord expand for me my chest. Wa yassir li amri, facilitate my affairs for me. And then this part of the verse, وَاحْلُلْ عُقْدَةً مِّن لِسَانِي, and untie and knot from my tongue. يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي, so that the people, may understand my word. But please, Allah, untie this knot. So this was something which the prophets were encountering. It was very difficult for them. Now, Imam then comments and says, the knots were in their tongue, not in their hearts. Their hearts were unveiling the truths, the metaphysical truths. But they could not express that which they were spiritually in possession of to others, and hence they would utter through analogies and examples, because they couldn't express those spiritual things that they were witnessing into physical words. So they would keep on going through analogies for the people. In any case, when Allah is being introduced by a camel, it is but evident what level we are residing in. It's the animalistic level, and the ma'rifah, the gnosis that we do acquire when we want to know Allah through the camel or the skies or any other physical entity, is very deficient. So, and then Imam ends by saying, so, O needy one, endeavor with the name of your Lord, and purify your heart, and exit from shaitan's influence, and recite your Lord's book, and ascend. But you have to do it with a pure heart, shaitan free. Read it with deliberation and thought, and do not become confined within its shell and external dimension. Don't get me wrong, the external dimension is of utmost importance, but don't confine yourself to the superficial layer of the Quran. Don't imagine, Imam writes, that the divine book and the revealed lordly Quran is nothing but its shell and outer aspect. Never think that. Why? Because confining oneself to the outer dimension and retreating oneself to the external realm and not transcending to the batin of the Quran is tantamount to death, to destruction, and this constitutes the basis to all forms of ignorance. You see how important this becomes, that we shouldn't limit it. So, the Quran has many levels, many degrees, and we have to do our best to transcend and hunt down more and more inner layers of the Holy Quran. It's multi-layered, it's multi-dimensional. Now that's one important principle that we've gone through. Now, when it comes to the definition of revelation, wahi, literally wahi is defined as a hidden form of communication, and sometimes it qualifies as anything that indicates a form of conveying to another party, to a second party, for example, without others realizing it. So that is a hidden, secretive form of communication. Now, this communication may exist in animals, and the word wahy is used in relation to bees, for example, in the Holy Quran. It also applies to other things, such as the Quran, where there's a communication for example, with the Quran, there's a communication between Allah and the Holy Messenger without others realizing it, where the revelation, the Muhammadan revelation in the form of the Quran, is disclosed upon the heart of the Holy Messenger. So there's a kind of secretive communication between Allah and the Holy Prophet. Now, one question that arises is, okay, Allah, through, let's say, His attributes or the Ahadiyya stage, the Ahadiyya stage or the realm of attributes of Allah, such as His knowledge, it manifests to the immaterial Quran, Kitabul Mubin, which manifests to the semi-immaterial realm, where there is color, size and shape. You hear, not a physical hearing, but you hear, you see, you read, but it's semi-immaterial. And then it descends to the physical Quran that we have. The semi-immaterial realm is called, according to traditions of Ahlul Bayt, is called the Malakuti realm. And the Quran in the semi-immaterial realm is called the Malakuti Quran. The Quran pertaining to the immaterial realm is in the realm, that realm is called the Jabaruti realm. And so the Quran in that realm is the Jabaruti Quran or Kitabul Mubin. But anyway, it keeps on being sent down until we have the physical Arabic Quran. Now, here the Quran was revealed to the Holy Messenger of Islam, onto his heart. Now, the heart being a function, being a level of one's soul. It's not something physical. So, Allah's knowledge manifested. It manifested in the immaterial realm, Kitabul Mubin, the realm of Jabarut, and that realm pertains to angels. Angels, their reality is immaterial. Like Jibra'il, for example, Archangel Jibra'il. Then Jibra'il descends to a semi-immaterial angel where you can now see color, size and shape in relation to this angel. The angel will speak, you will hear, not with the physical ear, with the ears of your soul, with the ears of your heart. How you hear, for example, in your dreams. Or you read from the semi-immaterial angel who brings tablets for you to read, not with the physical eye, with the same eye that you dream with. Look, we have eyes, outer eyes and inner eyes. That which we see, that which we hear in the semi-immaterial realms, in our dreams, they're not physical, but we hear them, we see things. But we don't see it with the physical eye, we don't hear with the physical ear, and so on and so forth. Now, the Quran is manifesting, then descending from realm after realm until it comes to the physical Quran. Where does this chain of events in relation to Allah's word, where does it end? Does it end in the Malakuti realm, the semi-immaterial realm, when it's disclosed onto the heart of the Prophet, and then thereafter it's not revelation anymore? Or does it, is revelation, does it qualify that to the physical words that the Holy Prophet would utter and people would hear? Those physical words, do they qualify as wahy, as revelation? This has been a discussion. Many theologians say, no, the chain of events, these dissensions of the Quran, the revelation of Allah's word, descending realm after realm, being sent down, this chain of events, it ends, revelation ends, God's word ends in the Malakuti realm, upon the heart of the Prophet. Anything after that is called propagation. For example, in chapter 5, verse 67, Ya ayyuhar Rasul, O Messenger, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. Propagate that which has been sent down to you from your Lord. It says balligh, propagate though, to the people, and make sure they receive it. But that's called propagation. That's called propagation. They say that's not called wahy. So many theologians believe that the chain of events of revelation ends at the heart of the Prophet. Whatever comes out of the mouth of the Prophet, that is not Allah's word. However, the Urafa of old, such as Ibn Arabi, and of new, such as the likes of Ayatollah Hasanzadeh Amuli, Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli, the late Allama Tabatabai, Imam Khomeini, and so on and so forth, they say no. The chain of events of revelation, it doesn't stop there. The words uttered by the Holy Messenger and heard by the people who were addressed, those words too are deemed as God's word. It's revelation. And here they use this verse to support their claim. Chapter 9 verse 6. وَإِنْ أَحَدٌ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ إِسْتَجَارَكَ. If one of the mushrikeen seek protection from you, فَأَجِرْهُ, grant them protection. So that what happens? حَتَّى يَسْمَعَ كَلَامَ اللَّهِ, so that they hear God's word. Who? The mushrik, the polytheist. Now they've come to you to seek your protection. Grant them that protection so they hear God's word. You see, so that they hear it. So that which the holy messenger would utter, let the polytheist hear it, because it's God's word. It will have an effect. So this shows that God's word, the chain of events, doesn't stop in the heart of the Prophet. It ends with the uttering of the Prophet. And there are many instances in history, this subtle point can be, this second opinion can be illustrated. For example, Allama Askari, rahmatullah alayh, in relation to the content of chapter 9 of the Holy Quran, Surah At-Tawbah, it's in relation to disassociation from the polytheists. And here, when a particular verse was revealed, the Holy Messenger was in Medina when it was revealed. And then he said, this is Allama Askari's interpretation, which is very useful. Not many people have described it in this manner. So the Prophet sent Abu Bakr, who was one of the companions of the Prophet, sent Abu Bakr to Mecca, so that Abu Bakr would inform the people of Allah's word, because it relates to them in Mecca, this particular content in chapter 9. So Abu Bakr went, and then the Holy Messenger was ordered by Allah to send Amirul Mu'mineen, not Abu Bakr. So they stopped Abu Bakr and they said for Amirul Mu'mineen to go and convey the message, convey God's word to the people in Mecca. Now look, we believe the Holy Messenger was infallible. Infallible in being a recipient of the message, the divine message, infallible in relation to keeping and safeguarding it and understanding it, and infallible in conveying the message. But here the Prophet is in Medina. He sent someone to Mecca to convey God's word. That person who conveys God's word has to be infallible. He initially sent Abu Bakr, but then through Allah's instruction sent Amirul Mu'mineen. And this shows that Amirul Mu'mineen was infallible too. Anyway, the chain of events in Revelation ends with the physical uttering of Allah's word. It doesn't end in the heart of the Prophet. Okay, so that was one point. In chapter 42, verse 51, it reads that وَمَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ, it's not for humans, أَن يُكَلِّمَهُ اللَّهُ, for Allah to speak with them, إِلَّا, save through three routes, the three ways that Allah speaks with people. إِلَّا وَحْيًا, through revelation, direct. أو مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ, or from beyond the veil, like the tree with Nabi Musa. Allah manifested Himself in the tree. That tree was reflecting Allah's attributes fully. The tree was saying, La ilaha illa ana. Or, so Allah speaks to people, either through revelation direct, from beyond the veil, or Allah sends a messenger. So, illa wahyan, أو من وراء حجاب أو يرسل رسولا, or Allah sends a messenger. فيوحي بإذن ما يشاء. Hence, that messenger reveals by Allah's permission that which Allah wills. Now, let's now dissect this a bit more. It's not for humans, for Allah to speak with them. These humans may be prophets, they may be non-prophets. Allah speaking with us. Now, Allah doesn't have a physical mouth. This speaking, kalam, is where one's inner reality becomes expressed outward. That's why all in this physical realm, all created things are called kalamatullah, because they're manifestations of Allah's attributes. Okay? But Allah speaks with humans only through these three ways. But these humans may include prophets, they may not be prophets. The door is open. Also, Allah speaks from behind the veil, or Allah sends a messenger to for people. Now, this messenger may be an angel, or it may be a prophet. A prophet is also a messenger. So Allah, the third route where Allah speaks with people is through an angel, but it also can include a messenger such as a prophet. And in this way, we see that the chain of events of revelation doesn't end inside the prophet's heart. It ends when it's uttered, the words are uttered to the people. That qualifies as Allah speaking with the people. So revelation ends with the physical words of the prophet. Okay. And that was a subtle point which Ibn Arabi has referred to in his book. Now, there are different forms of revelation. Some are legislative, where the do's and don'ts are revealed. Here Allah has sent and has spoken to a given prophet and has given a protocol, a sharia, for them to abide by, to reach their spiritual perfection. This is revelation of a legislative order. This kind of revelation ended with the Holy Messenger, the seal of the prophets. After that, no message or protocol has come from Allah for people to reach spiritual perfection. Why? Because through the Muhammadan protocol, which was the Holy Quran, people can reach that maximum perfection. If there was room place for more perfection, if someone can reach perfection, more perfection through another book other than the Quran, the Holy Prophet wouldn't have been the last messenger, wouldn't have been the last prophet. He wouldn't have been the seal. The fact that he's a seal because perfection-wise, you can't transcend more than through the Holy Quran. But we also have non-legislative forms of revelation, where, for example, one sees the past, the future, sees the angels, and there are many verses of the Holy Quran which relate to this reality that the angels are descended upon you, they teach you, you learn things, but you don't introduce what you're taught as a new sharia, no. But you can benefit from the realities of the cosmos, events that have passed in the past, events that are to happen in the future. You transcend to immaterial realms, and these realms are timeless, and therefore you gain such information. Or you're told what to do, what not to do. For example, maybe you have, in your dreams, have you never dreamt of someone calling you or knocking on the door? Then you suddenly wake up, but the person beside you heard nothing, for example. That may have been an angel, for example, calling you for prayer. But as a result of your inner status, you can only benefit from that angel thus much. If the purer the heart, the more you can benefit. So here, through the spiritual perfection and the spiritual purification and refinement of the heart, you can detach from the physical realm, ascend to immaterial realms and beyond, be a recipient of divine knowledge, and then that descends into the immaterial realm of you, then your imaginative faculty of the soul converts what your immaterial instruments have perceived from Allah's knowledge. It converts it into pictures, and those pictures you may benefit from them, but these are all timeless realms, and those pictures may tell you things of the future, of the past. Now with the Holy Prophet, he had this ascension too, and the difference between the different prophets that we have and the different books, all these differences are a function of the difference of the degree of their ascensions. The Holy Prophet's ascension, Mi'raj, was a maximum ascension. And here the Holy Prophet, here with a pure soul, then converted that which he was a recipient of, and it was converted into angels. He had access to the reality of the angels in the immaterial realm. Then the reality of the angels in the semi-immaterial realm. Those angels then reading the Quran. This is God's word, which was in God's knowledge, but manifested then from realm after realm, descended. So it's still God's word. God's word is never compromised in this process of manifestation and descension. And then the angels are now uttering God's word. So these aren't, the Quran isn't the words of the Prophet, but the pure soul was a pure recipient of that divine knowledge, and one's pure soul experienced with the immaterial eyes and ears of the soul, experienced or was inspired by the angels in the immaterial form. Then they were descended, sent down and manifested as semi-immaterial angels, which had color, size, shape, would utter words, would show tablets of writing, and it's all disclosed onto the heart of the Prophet. The Prophet would see and hear, not with the physical eye, not with the physical ear, but the Holy Prophet would then utter what he would see in the metaphysical realm to the people. So here we see these different degrees of being sent down, but the Prophet had to ascend, and then the dissensions would arise. Okay. Now, I want to go through a passage from Mullah Sadra's Asfar, his magnus opum, so to speak, or magnum opus, sorry. Here, Mullah Sadra goes into these degrees of the Quran, and he goes through it in a particular manner. I'll just read the English, I won't go through the Arabic to save time. He says, when Allah addresses the Prophet without an external veil, be it directly or via an angelic intermediary, this was pertaining to chapter 42 verse 51 that we read before, he, the Prophet, would be informed of the unseen, and within the inner bezel of his prophetic soul, the picture of the semi-immaterial and the form of the immaterial realm would be imprinted within the soul of the Prophet. As a result, an apparition, a vision of revelation, and its carrier, the angel, would appear in unity with him before the inner senses. It's like in your dreams. Your dreams are in unity with you. It's a product of your soul. But here, the Holy Prophet's pure soul has access to the immaterial realms of the cosmos, and is experiencing it and imprints it into his soul. Or he is experiencing the semi-immaterial realms and then imprints it into his soul through his imaginative faculty. would appear in unity with him before the inner senses, and this would take up the physical senses, absorb the physical senses, and an apparition would appear that is inseparable from that essential abstract Jabaruti realm. It's in unity with one another. The Jabaruti realm and the Malakuti realm is just descending down, but they are in unity with one another. It's like that author, the abstract knowledge of the author and the mental pictures of the author, it's one reality, but it's just manifesting to different realms. But here with the Holy Prophet, that which he would sense, would experience from the real, outer, immaterial realms of existence and semi-immaterial realms of existence, it would be imprinted into his soul. Because of the pure soul, the immaterial and semi-immaterial faculties of the pure soul can convey the reality of the immaterial and semi-immaterial realms of the cosmos. In the same way that this physical eye can convey the physical realities of the cosmos, we also have semi-immaterial eyes and immaterial eyes and ears. And this is other than like the images of dreams and imaginations that are void of meaning. That's the mind just playing with us in our dreams, in most of our dreams. It's not us perceiving the real realities of the immaterial and semi-immaterial realms of the cosmos. Then Mullah Sadra continues, the truth of the angel appears before the senses in a form on a par with angels, and so he, the Prophet, would see an angel amongst Allah's angels in a form other than that which was in the realm of intellect. Because the angels, the reality of the angels pertains to the immaterial realm where there's no color, size or shape. But then it descends, and one's imaginative faculty of the soul converts that into pictures. And now one sees an angel with color, size and shape, with wings and so on and so forth, speaking. None of these particularities existed in the immaterial realm of existence. After all, when the command from the realm of the aql, the realm of the intellect, when it descends, it becomes defined, particularized, and the Prophet would see it in a measured manner and hear the forms of words succeeding after when it had been in the intellectual or immaterial realm. So when it became that reality of the Quran, when it was in the immaterial realm through the angels, would descend, and now one would see it in a form other than that form which existed in the immaterial realm. But those are in unity with one another, and one's semi-immaterial and immaterial instruments within are now conveying that, and it becomes imprinted into one. Or one sees the tablets of writing in the hands of the angels, and therefore can then read, for example, that which the angels have brought before them. Hence, one upon whom revelation is actualized is actually in unity with the angels via one's spirit's intellectual dimension, and becomes a recipient of divine knowledge and witnesses the Lord's great manifestations with one's aqli eyes, and hear the Lord of the world's words with one's aqli ears from the greatest angel. So here, this revelation here is a product of the Holy Messenger here. He sees the immaterial realms, he perceives it, the soul converts it into an angel which is in unity with the Prophet. And then that's descended into a semi-immaterial reality. And now he's reading from the tablets, or he's hearing the angel speak to him, like in our dreams. These are all in unity with the Prophet. But bear in mind, it's just like in the physical realm. There's something outside you. You perceive it with your physical eyes. And then that which you perceive is within you. You don't perceive the physical sun or the moon. Your eyes perceive it, but that which you perceive is within you. You perceive an image of the sun and the moon, not the actual sun. The physical sun doesn't come inside you. Then he continues, and so when the Prophet descends from such a divine lofty station, an angel appears before him in a form that is sensed by his inner senses, then diffusing to his external senses, and then to the air. This and then to the air, I'll discuss that in a minute. The same happens with respect to Allah's speech, i.e. the Prophet hears sounds and systematic letters specific to the Prophet's hearing, not others. When the Prophet was receiving this, since these were semi-immaterial truths, those next to the Prophet, they wouldn't hear anything. The Prophet was revealed God's word. It's like in your dreams. When you dream of something, the person beside you, they don't hear or see anything because the dream is in unity with you. After all, the sounds descend from the unseen to the sensible and appears from within to the outside without there being an external cause. God isn't calling the Prophet from outside. It's all happening inside the Prophet, in the Prophet's soul. Hence, Allah's angels, Allah's speech, Allah's book is conveyed from the Prophet's unseen realms, inner dimension, and then it penetrates to his senses. And this penetration is not in the shape of transition, like with your physical eyes, you seeing something in the physical realm of existence. Now, this thing of being absorbed by one's inner senses and then to one's external senses and then to the air, here Ayatollah Jawadi Omali, in his commentary to Asfar, in this section of it, he referred to another book of Mullah Sadra, his commentary to Usul Kafi. And this revelation, which was all from within the realms, inner, unseen realms of the Holy Messenger, this going out to the air, it descended to one's inner senses, to one's semi-immaterial realm, but then he said it was absorbed in one's external senses and then to the air. This to the air is explained in this extract from the commentary to Usul Kafi. Mullah Sadr says, the speaking of Allah to people is divided into two parts. One, where it does not surpass the realm of knowledge and intellect, and does not therefore descend to the realm of imagination and sensible apparitions, and this is usually the case with most prophets. Here, most prophets, they would receive divine knowledge through the intellectual or the Jabaruti realm, the immaterial realm, and be inspired that knowledge. Then they would use their own words. That immaterial realm has no words, but they were a recipient of that immaterial reality, and then they would explain that immaterial reality with their own words. But with the Quran it's different, because that immaterial reality then descended to a semi-immaterial reality, and you would see angels, you would hear them, and then the Prophet would utter the physical words. But anyway, that is also regarded as Allah speaking to people, but it's limited to the immaterial realm. And secondly, where there is a sensed hearing or even an external hearing, in that, now the external hearing has to be explained, in that the form of hearing transcends the realm of senses, permeating to the outer ear and then into the air in a manner where it's believed to be from outside, but it's not. It's just that you think, because of the way it's absorbed into your inner senses, you think that you're hearing something from outside. You see the Prophet speaking with you. It's like in dreams. You see someone speaking with you, it's as if someone is really speaking with you. Then you wake up and then you say, oh, right, there was no one there. Something similar here. But with this second one, that immaterial reality of the angel descends into semi-immaterial reality, with angels with color, size and shape, with tablets that the Prophet could read from, with the Prophet's semi-immaterial eyes, and the Prophet can hear the angels giving God's word with his semi-immaterial ears. And then he would utter the words. Okay, so inshallah I'll stop there, and in the next session now we'll continue with now this Laylatul Qadr in more precise terms, inshallah. Thus far, we've covered the manner of how the Quran, from Allah's knowledge, from the divine courtyard, manifests and descends layer after layer until it comes to the heart of the Prophet. Then the Prophet utters it out to the people, to the masses. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين.